Hey everybody, I'm back again. I haven't posted a video for a long time. It's been a couple of months since I've worked on the Triumph. Had other stuff going on, Halloween, and then just weekends going to our land and doing work down there. So finally got back to it. I broke down and bought a new boot floor for the Triumph because the one I had repaired, I couldn't get square measurements from corner to corner, and without having like some sort of really squareness and something to build the rest of this back end off of, it was going to be a nightmare. So I broke down and bought a new boot floor. So I've got that in. I had to fabricate the reinforcement that goes under the spare tire. That I spot welded. I bought the Harbor Freight spot welder, which once I got it adjusted, it works fairly well. I think because I'm using it with a heavy duty extension cord, I have to let it run for at least another second to get a good weld, because some of the welds pop, so I had to go back and just do rosette welds. Let's see what else. I also fabricated, if you can see them, some reinforcements, because that is where down below on the back side of the valance is where the muffler attaches to. And at least on the old trunk floor or boot floor, I noticed that the that section of the valance that stuck down would flex quite a bit with that on there. So I figured, well, I've got it open, I might as well make some reinforcements to spread the load over that boot floor. So that's just some, I think, 16 or 12 gauge sheet steel that I bent, and so yeah, that's ready to drill and then mount the exhaust someday. What I've been working on today is I've got to the bottom side of the upper valance is all rusted out, really bad shape. There's no way I could ever get it to weld, so I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to replace this seam. I did see on Facebook Rust Hunter's Garage, I think they're out of Bulgaria, possibly. They did a repair on a Mark I just like this, and they actually did it in two pieces, but they had modeled the car, the rear end, in like AutoCAD or something, and made precise model of this, and then they had the sheet metal CNC or laser cut to the exact match. And I talked to them about it, and they were really great about explaining how they did it. And then I asked about, hey, would you make it available to the community? Not necessarily for free, but, so that other people could use it. And they kind of balked at that. So I had seen Ellen Yakov's video where he replaced this, but instead of doing the flange on the inside, he actually came down, made a 90, came out, and then cut it into the rear valance and got rid of the shelf on the inside. I like the idea because then you eliminate this exterior seam, but the problem is that channel on the inside carries the wiring harness for the brake lights and whatnot, and also has some mounts for the gas tank and the floor. So what I'm thinking of doing is I've got a piece worked on yesterday, but basically do the same kind of thing, but just weld it, punch holes in it, and do rosette welds to the top of the valance, and then edge weld it, and basically it would raise this corner, this roll over here for the valance, would raise it by 1/32 of an inch. But once you get that welded, then you've eliminated that seam and you've got a nice flat surface. So what I think I'm going to try doing is the welding technique for cutting in a panel that I've seen on, I think it's Fitzy's Fabrications. I think he's out of Newfoundland or something like that. But what he does is he tack welds the piece over the existing and then goes in and cuts, pushes it in, welds it, and then does another section, cuts, pushes it in, and that way you get an exact match to the original, and you don't have to use the little butterfly clamps and whatnot, which I've had mixed success with that, getting it straight, but I want to try that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks.